Today we're going to take a look at food shop runs and check if they're worth doing. First off, we are going to check every food shop in RuneScape to see if the items are worth using or selling. I have a detailed document about what food is worth getting in the description. This video will have the short version of it. You might want to pause the video at some point. The best route to take with food shops will be near the end of the video. The first shop we check is fresh meat in Oo'glog. To access the shop, you must have done the as a first resort quest. I've broken down the word using section into normal and Ironman players, and the word selling section is only for normal players. The Ironman section is meant for low to medium level Ironman, as high levels can get food way easier. All the food packs are really useful as food for your player owned farm, and they can also be sold for quite some money. The other raw meats aren't worth it because their stock is too low. However, red meat and bear meat can still be sold for a fair price. Next up is Ardougne baker stall, which has no requirements. The cake and chocolate slice are worth using for yourself, since they heal a fair bit for the price. The chocolate bar is useful for making energy potions or for selling. Nathifa's bake stall requires Ichlin's little helper, just like the Ardougne bake stall. Only the cake and chocolate slice are worth using. Gianne's restaurant has no requirements either. This shop is really good for Ironman because they sell cheap and high healing food. For normal players, only the toad crunchies are worth selling. Funch's fine groceries has no requirements. The pineapples here are worth using as food for Ironman. For normal players, the jewelberries are worth selling. The rest of the items you can skip. Ground Tree Groceries has no requirements. This shop has a lot of items, but for Ironman, only the pineapples and spider on a stick are worth using. For normal players, only the jewelberries are good for selling. Keepa Ketillion's shop requires you to complete the Fremenic Isles. The food is worth it for Ironman, but normal players can skip this one. The Miscellanian food shop requires you to complete the Royal Trouble. This shop is worth skipping altogether because nothing is worth using or selling. Rufus's meat emporium requires priest in peril. In this shop, it is worth getting the raw meats for your player-owned farm. The other meats are worth selling. The shrimp and parrot in Brimhaven has no requirements. This shop is great for Ironman because of the cheap and good healing food. Normal players can skip this shop. Solihib's food stall requires monkey madness. This shop is really bad, so you can easily skip this one. Tony's pizza bases requires you to be skilled. Skip this shop. The Warrior's Guild food shop requires you to have a combined strength and attack level of 130. Again, a great shop for Ironman food, but not so much for normal players. Wydin's food store has no requirements. Nothing is worth using or selling from this shop. The pie shop in the Cook's Guild requires 32 cooking and a chef's hat. Nothing is worth getting here. The Culinaromancer's chest requires a recipe for disaster. It is worth getting the chocolate bars here for energy potions or for selling. Also, the grapes are worth selling. Furthermore, the cooking apples and pots of flour are also worth selling. Frenita's cookery has no requirements. Nothing is worth getting from this shop. If you have all the required quests, I suggest you follow this route for the most profit in the least amount of time. I like to start off at the Ardougne baker stall and buy the chocolate bars. Once you're done there, walk into Oo'glog and buy the meat packs, bear meat and red meat. After that, tally to canvas and buy everything from Rufus' shop. Then go to the basement of Lumbridge Castle and buy the chocolate bars, grapes, cooking apples and pots of flour. Next you tally to Eagle's Peak and climb the fence. You can also use the spirit tree if you have that unlocked. Go to the first floor and into the restaurant and buy the toad crunchies, followed by the dwellberries. Finish the route by buying the other dwellberries at Funch's shop. If everything went according to plan, you just made the meal in 8 to 10 minutes of work. Due to the shop restock timers, you can do this route every other day. The Ironman route is mostly aimed at getting cheap food and utility items. Start your route at the Artie's baker stall and buy the cakes and the chocolate slices. Once you're done, walk into Oo'glog and grab the meat packs. Then teleport to Eagle's Peak, go to the first floor of the Grand Tree and buy everything at Gianne's restaurant. After that, grab the pineapples from the other guy and Funch. Then go to Releka and take the boat to Yatizo. Buy the fish in the shop there. Then teleport to Menefos, cross the bridge into Sophanem and buy the cakes and chocolate slices from Nathifa. Next you go to Cannabis and only buy the raw beef from Rufus. After that, tally to Gramja and buy all the fish except the herring from all Funch. Drop the fish off at your closest bank. To finish the route, go to the Warriors Guild in Birdorp and buy everything from the shop there. If everything goes according to plan, you should have enough food for a little while. Do note that prices may change, so check the wiki page for up-to-date prices. And that was my take on food shop runs. I hope you enjoyed this video and perhaps learned something from it. If you like my content, consider subscribing or leaving a like. Until next time.